In this video, I'm going to talk about a unique feature which GitHub provides for any individual or a company to create a profile page. For that, you need to have a GitHub profile and a public repository with the name of username.github.io. That's it. And GitHub is going to host your files, basic HTML files, and you can have multiple HTML files within the same public repository. Now, along with that, I'm going to teach you how to create a standard README file which uses a special type of syntax, that is the Markdown syntax. It's a way of decorating text on the web, and you will find that there are many projects with a good README file. A good README file contains description about the prerequisite, installation, testing, and deployment of the project. Now, what you need to know before continuing, you need to know about the basic Git commands. I recommend you to watch my previous video to work with basic Git commands, and a basic knowledge of HTML would do. Now I've decided I'm going to create a profile page for my or GitHub profile. Now this GitHub profile can be an existing one or a new one. For this demonstration purpose, I've created a new GitHub profile. So I'll be working on that. I'm going to look for some free templates on the internet, bootstrap templates, so that I can create a one-page profile for my own GitHub account. So I have zeroed down this type of a template where I am giving a description, the personal statement, and what are the skills I have and all these things, and I'm going to edit this particular template as per my need. I'm not going to show how I'm going to edit all those things, but I will definitely show you how to work with this template. So for that, the first thing I'm going to do is to fork this guy on GitHub. Now I want to download this project. Now there are two ways I can do that. I simply download this zip, or I can clone this particular URL. Now you can see there is a readme file is also available, but I am not going to use this readme file. I am going to create a readme file from scratch. Okay, so I'm just going to copy this thing, open my command prompt, move to my directory, and I'm going to use my git clone command followed by the URL. So this clone command is going to clone everything which is available in that repository. Once it is cloned, I can verify it by going to my directory. As you can see, it has already cloned all the files that is required. Now in this, I am going to copy only CSS, IMG, JS, and index file. I'm going to leave everything as it is, and I'm going to copy it inside a new folder. So I'm going to create folder using command prompt itself, mkdir. As I told you, it should be username. My GitHub profile username is .github.io, and I'm going to change to this directory. Now I've copied this thing. There will be a directory with my name, yes, and I'm going to paste it. Now I'm going to use Sublime Text to edit this particular file. And I'm going to do open folder. Okay, so I opened up the index.html file, and here the original owner of the project has nicely commented everything, and I can just do a basic edit that will help me to add my profile on the GitHub. Okay, now I'm going to do the edit in the meantime, and then I'm going to log in on my profile. So I have already logged in on my GitHub account and I have done the necessary changes in the index.html file which I have downloaded from the internet. Now I'm going to start a new project, and the name, as I told you before, it should be the username. So my username is this, and I'm just going to create this repository. Now I will go with all the basic git commands once again. So for that I just need to do git init followed by git add dot git commit m. Now I'm going to push this to my repository, but first we need to add the remote. So the remote is important here. And I'm going to do a git push to origin master. That is going to ask me about my GitHub account details. Now I can verify whether everything has been uploaded or not. Okay, so it has uploaded everything, but you can see there is no readme file. Now I'm not going to use this particular button to create a readme file. I'm going to show a nice way how you can edit your readme file, but first I need to verify whether my profile is displaying or not. So for that I'm going to visit this particular link. Okay, as you can see, GitHub has hosted my page right now, and I can use this link to display my profile to anyone, those who are interested. So I don't have to pay anything. I just need to have a GitHub profile, that's it, and GitHub is going to host my file. Now next thing, I'm going to show you how to create a good readme file. So for that, first thing, inside my project I'm going to add a new file, and I'm going to save it with a README.md extension. But here I'm not going to show you, because Markdown, as I said before, it is a special syntax which helps to decorate your text on the web. So I'm going to use a service which is provided by another guy at this particular site, dillinger.io. Okay, here how I'm going to explain you some of the syntax that you can work with Markdown, but entire link you can find at another reference link. I will give you the reference link at the end, but right now I'm going to show you some of the few syntax. Now there are, as you know, in HTML there are 6 level of headings. So every heading, if I want to display, I can use a hash followed by space, and I can give the heading. You can see at the live preview of the Markdown syntax, and for different levels of heading, so hash is used for heading, and if you want to give a line, so you are going to use 3 hyphen symbols. Okay, if you want to create a list, you can simply write star list 1, list 2, list 3, So this will create an unordered list. Now if you want to create an ordered list, you just have to write one dot followed by you can also create a nested list. For that you need to have star space like this one. Okay, apart from this I would like to talk about some inline and how to create paragraph also. This is a line inside a paragraph. But you can see it is showing on the same line. So all you need to do to create a different paragraph, just put another line in between and it will create a separation between the two paragraphs. Now I can also add something in between. So I can say to display an inline type of element, I just going to use the acute symbol. This. To highlight anything. You can also create a block in which you can use the syntax as it is by using 3 acute symbols. It also allows syntax highlighting if you're just going to provide what type of syntax you are writing. So if you are going to write any JavaScript code, it will highlight the syntax for you. As you can see, so 3 acute symbols and 3 closing acute symbols. Now if you want to create a link, you can create a link easily. You just have to use square bracket followed by parentheses, what you want to, or to which particular link you want to display. So it will point to that particular link. If you want to go for an image, you just have to use an exclamation symbol and it will refer to that particular image. So these are the basics of Markdown. You can visit this particular link. You can search for mastering Markdown on GitHub guides. It is given about how to work with text, list, images, header and quotes, and some extra features as well. So how to create a standard, which will talk about the prerequisite and all those things, because I have tested everything. So I'm going to create a standard readme file that you will find in most of the project. So first thing I'm going to write, this is profile page project. These instructions will get you a copy of the project up and running. I'm going to use third level of heading and I'm going to say what are the prerequisites for my project. So things you must know before you start working with the project. So the technologies that you need to be aware of. So I'm going to create a list, HTML file, CSS3, JavaScript, jQuery, and Bootstrap 3, because it is a Bootstrap template, so you need to know how to work with Bootstrap 3 as well. Now, additional tool which I have used to develop this project, now how to install. We are going to talk about how to install this particular project. So install, you can use the git clone if you don't know what is the git clone command, so you can visit to your repository, you can click this particular, or you can simply download the zip and extract to your folder. I am going to talk about testing this project. This project is tested against different browser. For this I have used web server for Chrome extension, and then I'm going to talk about the deployment of the project. Create a repository with username dot github.io and upload your project to this repository to get GitHub hosted your profile. I'm going to talk about any build tool which I've used. Because we are working on different projects, you are going to use Gradle, Maven, Bower, so any build tool, but I have not used any build tool. No build tool is required. Then if there are any collaborators for your projects, I am going to add all the collaborators for this project. No collaborators. Then I'm going to talk about license. You can give license description here. And any acknowledgement that you need to do. Okay, so just before copying this, I'll just going to verify whether done everything proper or not. Additional tool, technologies, installing, testing, deployment, build tool, and okay, there is a different level of heading which I've used here for testing, deployment and all. So I'll use, because these are own descriptive. So testing, deployment, build tool, collaborators, license, acknowledgement, and yep. So everything looks good now. So I'm just going to copy this particular code from here and I'm going to paste it here. Okay, so all looks good. I'm just going to save it. As you can see in my profile right now, there is no readme file. So I've created a readme file inside my same folder. Okay, I'm going to update it. Get dot I'm going to do a git push origin. As you can see, it has already detected the markdown file and I am having my own readme file here. You can see the syntax highlighting wherever I've used it, the bulleted list. So that's it. Thanks for watching.